Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of Omnifactory. My name is ZD Sauce, and we got some big plans today. Yesterday but our last episode we made we finished up our deep mob learning automation that we have set up down here. We had to do a few more things to finalize everything. One was to set up some of the fluid extractors and solidifiers back here, and then we also made some elemental reduction fluids so that we can get our thermal elemental data model set up. And we can see we're getting a good amount of stuff all sorted out. I've put storage upgrades on some of these drawers, like copper. We're gonna need a lot of iron and coal, diamonds as an upgrade in it, and then all the different matter types. But we're actually maxed out on a good amount of other stuff, like our silver. And then so what happens when our drawer maxes out is that I have no idea where our ghast model is. Okay, here's an example. So the blaze model has blaze rods and sulfur, and both of those are full. So what will happen is this will just keep on producing the matter. Oh, that's ghast. Where is our... Yeah, the matter here. And then it will just end up... It'll still continue to round robin, and then it will fill up everything in here, and then everything in here, and then also fill up all the pristine blaze matter in both the loot fabricators and in the actual simulation chamber itself. So we have a huge back stuff, even greater than what this is. We probably have even more than double, or maybe even triple, considering all the matter that gets turned into stuff. So we are completely set on that kind of stuff. Looks like we're also starting to get backed up on gas matter. So once we actually get a stack of gas matter in each of these, or a stack of whatever mob it is, the matter in each of these, we'll actually stop using the pulsating polymer clay, which is pretty good. Some like wither skeleton matter is also going away. Some of these are getting backed up, which is good. It's what I like to see. We got a lot of silver on demand. I also removed the Enderman data model from here just because we had such a huge back stuff of the resonant ender for a while. Maybe I'll put it back in now. But I feel like we were just building up ender pearls that we didn't really quite need. But I can let it run for a bit longer. Why not? This is slightly in the positive, and then once we fill up more and more, hopefully it will even out a little bit. If we start to have more issues with this, what we can do is just make a few more macerators and stuff to get our sand production up a bit. I think that does it down here. But yeah, our plans for today is what I want to do is move into a void world. Because as you can see, things are pretty stuttering down here. So I think I'm gonna leave all this stuff down here that's currently here. We have our dynamos, and I think these three is going to be the perfect amount to power all this automation so far, and we can always do more. But what we're going to do to transfer a lot of our resources is use ender chests. So instead of just pulling directly out of the loot fabricator, what I think I'm going to do for our actual power production, because our power is pretty much just in diamonds, I'm going to put these into an ender chest and then be able to draw the diamonds out of here, and then also in our void world, and then just set up numismatic dynamos in our void world somewhere. So we'll always keep our simulation chambers for actual power over here, because it's already set up and all wired up and everything. And then same with this whole chest system. I'm gonna bring all these chests into the void world, and then I haven't quite figured out what I want to do, but I'm pretty much gonna feed all of the resources that we're getting from our loot fabricator into our ender chest, and then the ender chest will basically pipe that stuff into our storage system on the void world. It's going to be a bit trickier. I think we're actually going to need to set up 3 different item conduits inputs and then have limited item filters, because my train of thought is that we want to, I guess, allow items to go in, but when they back stuff, we want to make sure that they're back stuffing in the loot fabricator, because if we didn't have any kind of filter saying you can only have one stack in here, then we would probably run into issues where the entire ender chest would fill up with sulfur, right? Because we wouldn't be able to go into the storage doors, and then it would all just pipe out of here and be like, oh, okay, I have an inventory I can go into, and have some issues with that. So I think with 3 limited item filters, that will give me 30 different slots. So I'll basically just filter on a stack of each one of these different items. But we'll get to that in a bit. For now, as I'm sure you all are wondering, let's actually go check out the void world. I'm a bit slow on episodes right now. I had a buffer for a bit, but I've missed the day. But that's because I've been spending some time here and kind of setting up how I want everything to look. So yeah, this is huge. So this is three chunks in total, or 5 chunks by 5 chunks in total. I was originally gonna do 3, but then I decided to do 5 by 5, and it is massive. And also something I've done is I put a 2-layer cobblestone buffer underneath everything, just because if we're ever doing cabling or anything, I think it's really nice to just be able to easily throw stuff underneath the floor without having to worry about it falling into the void. So if we're like, hey, we need to throw some cable down here, we can easily just like pipe some cable right here and then and do that. And yeah, the actual materials I went with, so the cobblestone it's just cobblestone, but it's chiseled into this neat little trodden bricks. They're not going to be seen much, so it doesn't matter too much. And then I'm using factory blocks. And those are really neat. I think I showed them off a little bit before. Maybe I didn't. But they're basically, they look really nice, and they're really cheap to make. It's just iron and stone. You get half stack. So yeah, these are one type of factory blocks, and then the actual centers are the other type. So since it's a 5 by 5, I'm thinking like right here in the middle, this is where I'm going to have my terminal and everything. And then I'll set up like all my LV machines somewhere, all my MV machines somewhere else. Yeah, I think it should look good that way, and hopefully everything works out. I guess if we encounter any issues, we will solve them as we go. But yeah, I really like how this looks, and also this is let's not die here. Whatever. I'm showing my chunk borders right now. I removed the hotkey. I remember a while ago when I was in the Nether, I had accidentally stopped recording when showing chunk borders. But each one of these sections are just one chunk, which is nice. Or they're a little bit off. I actually made them 15 by 15, just so I think odd numbers are a lot nicer than even numbers. But yeah, anyway, that's what I did between episodes. It took a while, but I was able to use this handy dandy building gadget. So this is really nice. You're able to basically select a bunch of different styles of building. So I basically just chiseled down a bunch of blocks and was able to kind of like fill things in that way. Yeah. But yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving stuff over. And I think the first thing I want to do is basically get a little bit of power gen here. So I think I want to move my magmatic dynamos here just to power our AE system. And then we can bring over our drive and our terminals, and then we have access to actually all of our items here. And then we can bring over all of our different machines and blast furnaces and kind of lay out how we want things to look. But yeah, so yeah, I'll be back when I have some more stuff on this void world and not just a huge empty area. So I will see you then. Okay, that is trip 1 complete. It looks very sparse on this massive island, but it's something. I got my AE system set up at least. So what I'm basically going to be doing going forward is I have this backpack, so I have pretty much 2 inventories that I can use. So I'm just going to be filling it up with all the machines and everything I'm moving, and then just bringing it over here essentially. I think I'm going to try to move my big line of LV machines like over here, and then do my MV automation over there, and we can kind of let this expand a little bit naturally, and then once everything is here, we can kind of reorganize as we see fit. But yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty messy, but I think I want to set up some automation with both the Advanced Inscriber and the Crystal Growth Chamber, and what was the other thing that we have? Oh, the charger would be good too. Yeah, so like I'm not too worried about them for now because I think they are going to move over to more of an automation spot at some point. But for now, what I basically did was just set up these magmatic dynamos, which really are not being used that much. It's just flickering a little bit of power. And they're a bit of an energy buffer as well. And then that just gets piped over to, basically I'm following the actual, like, what are these called, I guess? Wireframe is the type they're called, but I'm piping the energy this way, and it kind of goes over here and then just gets piped into this actual energy cell, or beneath the energy cell is the actual converter from the RF power to the AE power. And then that is connected up to the different things. So we are able to do auto crafting, so we got these crafting storages set up, and then I also set up our molecular assembler, which this will grow a lot, but again, it's pretty easy to move these things as we move forward. So I think step 1 is just moving everything to this world. I also am gonna light stuff up as well as we see nighttime upon us, but I'll be back. I'm just gonna move over some more machines and hopefully make things look somewhat nice. It's so empty. It's so empty. I've cleared out my first floor almost completely. I can still have this bounty board here, but yep, I took out the multi-block structures as well as all of our LV machines, and we got these ore things, I guess. But we're making progress, and I keep on realizing other things I'm going to have to do along the way. Like something I realized really quickly was like, hey, where are these polyethylene sheets going? So we're going to need to have some kind of generic ender chest to import into our storage system. It will have to be different than the ender chest for this storage drawer, just because we want to make sure that we aren't going to put stuff into digital storage past these storage drawers, because we don't really need more than what we have here. But that's a project I will tackle once we move all of our other stuff. But everything still is running over here. It's pretty self-sufficient. I'm going to have to throw in another simulation chamber with a Shulker data model pretty soon, I would imagine, just because this diamond supply is a bit low, and we're definitely eating through a decent amount of power. But yeah, this is just a sample of like all the random stuff I'd be bringing. Look at all these LV machines, man. Like, it would probably be good to just use MV machines going forward, but I figure, I don't know. It's more of like a token of our humble beginnings, if anything. But yeah, and then what I'm going to do is just bring it over here and lay it all down somewhere. So I'll be back when I do that. All right, I think we are due for a progress update. So this is how we're looking so far. Get a little bit of an aerial view. It feels really empty, but we've moved a good amount of what we have. All that work, we've put in 25 episodes of work, and this is everything we got. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. Actually, just moved my furnace as well. I thought I had 2 stacks of coal coke. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, so yeah, what I did is I moved all of our LV machines like I was showing before, and it's pretty much the same exact setup. The order might be slightly different that I have to get used to, but hopefully I'm not going to be using these too much. I want to up our auto crafting and not have to be waiting for these slow LV machines much more going forward. Haven't touched the power yet. I moved our blast furnace here for now. I'm not really sure where I want to put all my, because I'm going to have many more blast furnaces pretty soon. So I might end up moving these somewhere else, and I'm definitely going to make more, and I want to also try and make multi-block structures with 2. But basically the way the blast furnaces work with GregTech is that you can kind of share sides. So we could actually have a controller here, and then another controller right here, and then it could share some of these copper nickel coil blocks as well as some machine casings, and then we would just put our input and outputs and energy hatches and all that good stuff just on the same exact level as the controller. Not in a huge rush to do that, but going forward, I think it'd be cool to have like lines of blast furnaces and stuff. I set up our auto crafting here, and I think I put all the interfaces in the right spots. I'm hopefully going to also improve this auto crafting soon, but for now it's good to have this as well. And this is also wired up to our AE system over here, so we should have all the crafting available. And actually, I wanted to test this out as well. So just to make sure I wired everything up again correctly. This should hopefully pull things out, put into the solidifier, do all that good stuff. Maybe. Did it just go really quickly, or was I had 40, right? Okay, so we can kind of debug this on the go. So that should be this one, right? That's where it is. So it should throw it into this chest. Soldering alloy wire. So this is extracting on blue, so it should throw the appropriate things in here, but something's up with the wire. This should be inserting on blue, I thought. Fluid extractor. Maybe it can't. Oh, is it the stupid thing where yeah, I think it's the dumb thing with the extract spot again. All right, see, I'm glad I tested it. I'm just gonna put the extract spot like underneath, I guess. Sure, and then hopefully that should fix it. How do I do this? Is it a shift? Oh, it's a wrench. Oof. It's been a while since I've actually used this. Throw this back in there. And then once I let things get inserted on this side, hopefully that should turn the fluid extractor on. Yep, and then it pipes it into the assembling machine, and that should then extract on green. and throw that into the interface and put it back into the system. And I think that should be all we need, right? Sweet, and that should finish the craft. Cool, and then if other things go wrong, we will figure it out, I suppose. But let's make sure that craft did, in fact, finish up correctly. Cool, we got nothing. So yeah, I think the next steps, actually, if we go back to our overworld, I think all we really have to do is just move our crate storage and then set up ender chests appropriately. And then I also want to set up some more power. Because I think what I'm going to do is have those magmatic dynamos just be our sole power for our AE system. Just because we don't really want to have other machines prioritizing power from those over our AE system, because if we don't have that, then it's going to be hard to like fix things if stuff goes wrong. But yeah, everything's gone on this floor, which I think it was last time. And then upstairs, everything is also gone. It's a ghost town. Yeah, you can really feel the lag. I'm really glad we're moving. This is still doing well. Yeah, I think we're good on making another Enderman data model. I'm gonna actually make another shulker model though, so we can keep our diamonds up to date. But that's something I can do off camera, as long as like setting up the other power and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I think I'm going to basically take all of this stuff away and then set up ender chests and do that. Is there something else I wanted to show off? Oh, so yeah, something else I wanted to mention was that I'm also not gonna worry too much about these sheets for now. I'm not gonna bother setting up ender chests for them as of right now. It'd be very easy to. But a couple things I realized I would have to do. I would also have to figure out some way to extract the fluids appropriately. Probably just use an ender tank the same way and pipe that into our system that way. But we are loaded on polyvinyl and polyethylene sheets, so I think that's okay for now. But yeah, everything seems to be working well. I have all this stuff chunk loaded, so this stuff should run even when I'm on the other world. So I think that should be okay. Gotta take away these cables. So yeah, I think the last step of what I have to do is pretty much just move these drawers and set up ender chests and do that. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick check mark of where I am right now. But I'll move the chests and then I'll come back when we're actually setting up the ender chest transportation, because I think that'll be somewhat interesting. But we are making progress. This isn't taking quite as long as I thought, but it's definitely still a big project to move everything. So I'll be back when we have a bit more done. All right, it's something. I do not like how this looks, but it's temporary. It's always temporary until it's there forever. But yeah, I just needed a spot to basically throw my drawers for now. I don't really have any ideas of like what a better spot is. I guess that's kind of the issue with just having your base be a huge open floor. I feel like you kind of end up with random stuff all over the place. So like maybe I could put up walls, but that also feels a little bit weird, and I don't know. Maybe it'll look better once I have like just more stuff in general. I understand this is a massive open space with nothing really there, but no, I was able to hook it up pretty easily. I just if you throw on this packing tape on a drawer, then you can break it without the contents spilling out. So I did that, and then I hooked up a storage bus to this door controller, and now I have access to all my stuff. So what I want to do next is basically hook up a chest to import our items from our automatic deep mob learning stuff that we did yesterday. So I haven't really worked with ender chests yet on this series, but basically they're just a shared inventory. You can see, both of them open at the same time, but you can also color them. So I actually have 4. I have 2 more as well, and I'll just use like this color. You can see now it's not linked anymore. So if I put one in here, I don't see it there. But now if I do this, I should see the same stuff in both of these. And so the idea of why I want to basically use different colors is because I can have like these 2 chests, since they're blue, I guess, they can be like my diamond storage for power. And then I can basically have diamonds wherever I want it, and then throw numismatic dynamos there. And things should hopefully work out there. Can I pick these up? Nope, I gotta mine them, I guess. They're a little bit slow. But I also made some limited item filters, so now what I want to do is work on actually making that happen. So, and then I'll also set up these 2 chests for the diamonds. So back to the overworld we go. I really like having this jetpack. I kind of wish I made it earlier. I'm not really sure why I didn't. Cool, we are back. I'm also going to need to make some more vibrant capacitor banks as well. Like I said, there's going to be a few things I need to do. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, all the drawers are gone here, but we are still exporting everything on green. So if we just bring it over to here, let's not do that. I basically want to set up, so let's not bring it over quite yet, but I'm going to set up one of these white chests. It doesn't really matter where. Right here, sure. And I'm basically going to surround it with item conduits and then try to configure all the different item filters. So they're all going to be inserting on green, just like how they were with the drawer controller. Hello, bat. And then on each one of these, I'm basically going to throw in one of the items that we're creating, which could take a while to do. I won't do this all on camera, but I'll just do some so you get the idea. So yeah, here you can put in 10 of a different item. So like an example of something I want to do is this. And the reason I'm using limited item filters is because I basically want to say, you can have a stack in this chest at any time, but no more. And then that should stop it from inputting any more into this ender chest. And then if it can't pull out of the other ender chest and bring it into the storage controller, then I think that we should be good. So yeah, we have iron, we're gonna have to do gold and silver and all the other ones, but I think this is pretty much what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through what each one of these loot fabricators is making and basically say, you can only have a stack of that into this ender chest. And then in the overworld, when we have, or not the overworld, in the void world, where we have our other ender chest, we're basically just gonna say, hey, whatever's in this chest, pipe it into the storage system. And then when a stack is full, it won't be able to go anywhere. And then it should basically just have a stack of every item that is full in this ender chest. Hopefully I'm conveying my point okay. But yeah, I'm going to basically fill these up with all the different items, and I'll be back and we can test it out in the void world. Oh, actually, before I cut, something I can do to demonstrate it as a little bit easier is I'm going to actually just make a buffer right here. I can just do that, sure. So I'm gonna say you insert on green. And so now this ender chest is gonna hold the diamonds instead of just holding it in the loot fabricator. And then I'll just have this extract this on brown because we are gonna need some here. And then I'll have these insert on brown, oops, instead of green. And now they should be pulling from the ender chest instead of directly from the loot fabricator. And so we should still be seeing these diamonds go away. And yeah, we shouldn't really have, or we still will have a buffer, but the buffer will be in this ender chest instead. And then on the void world, we'll be able to also set up the blue ender chest and pull in diamonds to our numismatic dynamos, like I was saying before. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense what I'm doing here. But yeah, I'm gonna set up all the limited item filters and be back when that's all done. All right, everything seems to be working well. We got the diamonds as a buffer chest. I don't know if I mentioned this, I set up another simulation chamber just to get some more diamonds, just because we're gonna get a lot more power going in the void world relatively soon. But yeah, this is the moment of truth. So I spent, it was really annoying. I was doing a lot of scrolling because you can kind of scroll to make these go to a stack. And I went through every single loot fabricator output that we have, and I'm using the ingot form of nickels and platinum because that's how we're processing it over here. And I basically say, hey, you can have a stack of all of those different items in here. And hopefully this works. I haven't tested this on a creative world or anything, so it would be annoying if it didn't. But yeah, we should start to see a stack of everything go in here. Uh-oh. Whoa. That's pretty crazy. And no more than that, right? Perfect. And yeah, it works out perfectly because this is 27 slots. I thought it was 30, but I guess it's 27 slots in here, and we have 26 outputs. So we shouldn't ever fill up this ender chest with multiple of one of these items, which it looks like we are. Like, say, diamonds, for example. We still have diamonds in here, so it is backstuffed. And then, yeah, that looks perfect. I think that's all we really have to do over here, right? I think this should work pretty well. So I am going to grab, and yeah, we can see we can access this ender chest somewhere else. And since it is chunk loaded, I think it should keep on producing, keep on doing its thing, and hopefully we don't have to babysit it too much. We're getting a huge surplus of pulsating polymer clay. But I think that's also because, oops, we had a lot of resin ender backstuffed when we were running 3 for a while, and it's just now working through that. I think we're still like totally maxed out, so this might slow down eventually, but I think we should be good for now. I just used that simulation chamber over here instead. But yeah, so let's go back to the void world. Oh, and by the way, something I haven't mentioned, we have these cakes. So to refill these cakes, the overworld cake uses saplings. So you just kind of click on it a few times and get some more bites. And then the void world uses this pulsating dust, just so the cake doesn't run out. And if it does run out, it's not a huge deal because we can just go into the quest book and get another one with this quest. I haven't looked at the quest book in a while. I'm excited. Once this is all done, hopefully next episode, we should be able to start progressing further and actually going through more quests once again. But yeah, so let's finish this up. So I think all we should really have to do is just plop this here. And yep, we can access our ingots accordingly. That's good to see. And now, okay, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. If we just extract these, we basically just want to extract everything, right? And then it should keep on refilling. And let's see how how that works. If this item conduit's too slow, we can always throw on some speed upgrades. But yeah, it looks like it is going through it. We might want speed upgrades. I guess we'll see once it actually gets through that initial back stuff. Because it's not going to be able to pull out a lot of these. Like it's pulling out diamonds, but something like a zombie head, that should be completely backstuffed. Or I guess we'll get 3 more of them because I used them to make the limited item filters. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, okay, see, that's exactly what we want to see. Okay, we had 64 blaze rods, and we used some to make the ender chests, so we were a little bit low in our drawers. And then it took it from the ender chest to refill it, and then on the overworld on the other side, we had 60 blaze rods, and it said, hey, we can put 4 more in there, and now it's still backstuffed in the loot fabricators though. But yeah, this is looking good to me. I would call this complete. So we're still generating resources automatically in the overworld, and now we have access to them in here because we have the storage bus there. And yeah, we're looking pretty much where we were in the overworld, but now we have a ton of space and it's not laggy at all, which is the main reason I did this. We were getting a lot of lag with all of the deep mob learning and resource producing machines that were running all the time. And I want to try to be wary of that lag in the future, and if there's some big automation line that I want to set up that's always going to be running, we can just do the same thing. Do it in the overworld, and then use ender chests or ender tanks or whatnot to just pipe it into here and hopefully keep this place relatively lag-free. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode. I'm pretty happy with what we did. I know we haven't worked through much of the quests or anything like I was saying before, but I really think this is necessary to be able to kind of look at things and get organized, and hopefully this place will be popping up with machines very quickly. But yeah, this is a whole lot of space, so hopefully we don't have to expand this anymore going forward in the future. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.